Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another night here with the Overwatch All-Star Brawl presented to you by Star Esports. Also, if you're happy to know that we're also being partnered by people, we have a very good deal going on together with omnicoach.gg. Jump over to their website if you have a moment. It's a great way to improve your game, even if you don't purchase anything. There's already tons of stuff you can do. But you can get your first video package 10% off with that lovely code, Star Esports. Now today, we got a great matchup for you. It's going to be UC Truancy, that's Unchained Truancy, versus Magna Terra. And this should be the lower bracket second round, game 8. So we're a little bit shuffling in the schedule if you guys have been accurately following our broadcast. But rest assured, still going to be a great one. And I'm obviously joined tonight by Shy Guy. How are you doing?
Oh, I am doing fantastic. I got the call that this game was happening tonight, and immediately piqued my interest because if you'll remember, you and I, we casted Unchained Truancy earlier this week on Wednesday night when they won in the first round of the lower bracket, an impressive 3-0 victory over Full Sent. After that game, we interviewed the main tank of Unchained Truancy, Economy, and he had some interesting answers. One in particular that he specifically wanted to go up against Magna Terra, and that he would beat the something that I will not repeat out of them with his wrecking ball.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something to look forward to in that regard. And Magna Terra, obviously, only yesterday they've played against Triumph Academy, went down with a 3-1, so they definitely gave Triumph at least a little bit of pullback. That wasn't on stream, unfortunately, but this one's gonna be, so there's a lot to be seen about that. And yeah, Unchained, I mean, they've had an interesting run. So has so has Magna Terra so far. So I'm excited to get into this. And if Economy is going to do what he's going to do, then I'm very curious how Magna Terra will deal with that, and if they're going to do the same thing to them, or try at least.
It'll be a very interesting matchup. I mean, that taking one map off of Triumph Academy is honestly, in my mind, pretty darn impressive. That's a very good team up, making their way through the upper bracket. A spicy matchup with Phase 1 on the way. But they're going to have their hands full here tonight, but I think they have one good option for dealing with Economy on the Wrecking Ball, and that is, of course, playing the Sombra. That's a really effective counter to that hero pick in particular. And Zeus, in their first round matchup against Metamorphic, really showed off that hero, and was a big part of their success, at least in the first round.
Yeah, and if we're gonna go into Oasis for the first map, both that Sombra and that Wrecking Ball are looking pretty good for both sides. So that's definitely a matchup you can straight away get into if they're gonna play either of that. And that's why I'm particularly looking forward to this game. But that's why I'm looking forward to Oasis. It's a very good Wrecking Ball map. It's also a very good Sombra map because all control maps are decent Sombra maps nowadays. But yeah, I mean, Sombra, she doesn't always get the value that she needs to if she plays against a spread out DPS team, which if you're running a Wrecking Ball is usually what you do. So I'm curious to see if Zeus is just going to be focused on shutting down the Wrecking Ball in that case or not.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see what Magna Terra runs kind of around that, because the Sombra was the one thing they ran like all the time, but they would shift around that. They could play like triple DPS Wrecking Ball comps of their own. They played quite a bit of the 3-2-1 style as well, so it's going to be interesting how they decide to match up specifically against Unchained Truancy, who I fully expect to be seeing triple DPS from nearly the entire night. That's what their team is built around, but they do actually have some different names in the lineup this week than we saw last time.
Yeah, a few different names here and there, but obviously subs are or other members on your roster are definitely possible. And sometimes with scheduling, you come to a little bit of conflict. It is summer after all, so there's definitely people that might be on holiday, might have some family things to take care of, especially on the weekends. So yeah, it's obviously not being on the usual starting roster doesn't mean that you're not a good player or that you're not just as good. It just sometimes it's a meta preference or just team preference or coach preference, strat preference, even a map preference sometimes. So I'm still not sure which way this one is going to swing. Looks like Economy's not starting out on that Wrecking Ball though.
No, they're gonna go with the same strategy we actually saw from them the other night here, at least on University, breaking out the Orisa alongside this Reaper Doomfist combo. There were different players playing the DPS heroes last time, but the strategy overall remains the same, and it was successful last time.
Yeah, Roto Orisa on the other side. Mercedes tries to go in. Immediately gets hooked out of the way. So it's going to be the Reaper trying to flank around this team, but he's not really going to do much. And Ruben Mercedes going down straight away. He's going to choose to go back to spawn, try again, maybe with something different. And it is Mercedes going over to them for that reason.
Yeah, the Roadhog instantly puts down any thoughts of the Doomfish shenanigans. Just going to be too hard for Unchained Truancy to really get a lot of value out of that pick as long as Jay is landing hooks. So they are going to make some swaps now to a little bit more of a pokey composition here with two long-range damage dealers.
Hanzo and Ash, great heroes to go against that shield. They try to go for the halt hook, don't get anything, but only ults on the other side, so they cannot even hook them back. Still nicely done, but Ruben immediately taken down by Nico. There is a trade coming out from King Jing, but the res just comes in. Economy going down will just net them a lot of, less protection. It looks like they will just have to go back to spawn again and just go for another one. Still not a lot of ults online, though.
No, I mean, these fights have been quick, and the retreats have saved several members on Unchained Truancy, so really the first round of ultimates kind of coming online just now for the defenders.
Looks like they're trying to maybe do something here. I mean, Nico has to get into a position to barrage because he's pretty far away from the enemy. There it is, though. Mercedes gets nano, goes up with that Hanzo, doesn't get a pick straight away, tries to go after the pharmacy, but just gets taken down by the barrage. That solo barrage, and then the follow-up on the shield. Ruben also falling together with Economy. Another one down with only, I mean, it's like 3.5 fights and still only 70%. Like you said, very quick ones.
Yeah, and I mean, the lack of poke that has been coming through and the lack of damage being done in these fights means that Unchained Truancy are about to go into a fight that they have to win without having any ultimates online. They've made more swaps in the meantime. Ruben now over to the Mei. They need to find answers now.
Yeah, they do go all around the right side, though, so don't really try to attack to contest the pharmacy straight away. Ruben will go down to Zeus's McCree. Will get res, but not really much value so far from anything. There is the High Noon. They're trying to zone them off point. They're probably going to be successful. And with that halt hook combination, King Jin going down, it looks like a pretty good start to this defense. Mercedes falls, so does Dirk. And it looks like that would probably be it. I don't think Unchained is going to be doing a lot more here. It is just Magna Terra with a celebratory barrage. And first point going over to them in a pretty convincing fashion, I'd say.
That was, in my mind, the Jay and Garm show right there. The halt hooks were landing every single fight. They started things off by landing one of those combos and just deleting someone from the fight immediately twice. It was changing, and they just consistently are landing these. If that's going to be the case all night, then Unchained Truancy are going to be in for a world of hurt.
Yeah, I definitely also a little bit of a credit there to Nico. Definitely was fending off the side a lot and was the only one who got 2 ultimates in that entire game. So did a lot of damage as well. Definitely didn't go unnoticed to me. Gonna see a Pharah on the other side as well. So it's gonna be that triple DPS with the Wrecking Ball. Now it's Economy's time to shine. This is what he was hoping for, and it's definitely gonna happen. No Sombra on the other side. So it's gonna be relatively free.
Yeah, Zeus will be there with the stun, but they're going to be relying on the hooks to really deter Economy. But, as long as he can get in and get out successfully, that's all he really needs to do on the Wrecking Ball.
They have a little bit of a scouting Sombra on the other side, but Zeus already takes down Ruben out of the sky. Don't think they're going to go for the rest because they won't have much healing during that. But Mercedes getting the 2K will get traded out, but that look is looking good so far here for Unchained. A little bit better than the last time. They're trading out. Dirk does get flanked by Nico, though, and it looks like they're going to be surrounded here. Economy does get B-Rose, but they don't have the numbers. They don't only have IG Nasty, not only Economy there. He does get a lot done here, a lot of CC, and it really still has a lot of health left. Already has those mines up, so it's probably going to throw those in. And it looks like this fight is definitely not going to be over just yet. He will be taken down, but that point is still up for contest. When Ruben goes down, though, I think you're just going to give that one up, but that was a little bit closer than it maybe could have been.
Economy bought them a little bit of time there with the Wrecking Ball, delaying the cap from coming in. Not going to be too consequential in the end, though, especially now as he swaps. As soon as he uses those mines, he's over to the Orisa. They want to land some halt hooks of their own, perhaps.
Yeah, we're looking to Ruben coming in now. He has not built that much up for the barrage, but it's Mercedes. Got those 2 kills. Nice hook on the Jade, and now switch over to the halt hook of their own. And he does take a lot of damage, doesn't actually go down, but that's a nice pressure being put out there. The supercharger does come out from Magna Terra, but they do just get the EMP out, hacking that one out and doing a lot of damage to everyone. This is going to be Iron Crit and Nico falling, and Zeus and Jay are not going to be able to pull that one back. Maybe misses the hook, and that is a point flip coming out here. No 100-0 on this one.
That is huge there for Unchained Truancy to get back in. Qingjing using the EMP there successfully lands a big one, but Economy steps a little too far out. His shield goes down, and Nico is there with the punish.
That's definitely not what you want to be seeing here, and unfortunately they're going to have to now go in without anything. Zeus gets counterpicked though. If they can deny that res, that could be great. It does look like that's going to come out, but they have to at least slow their push down. That can buy a lot of time for Economy coming back in on that Wrecking Ball, and he's already there. So it's still a 6v6 fight, and the res advantage is there for Derek. Nice barrage, but it gets countered by the Transcendence. Nico not so lucky because the headshot is going to not be healed back up. It's going to be an even fight still, both projectile DPS out of it, and Dirk still has that res, I believe. So he's now going to try and go for it. Maybe? No, I think they'll get canceled out. Feroz, though, is on a Terra. Is going to just take out more and more. The res cannot come out from Dirk, and it looks like it's just going to be stall territory. They're going to try to get that percentage up a little bit more, but they're not going to get much further than this. Mercedes throws out the infosight. We'll be able to maybe get a pick off, but for now, Magna Terra control.
This is an unusual game here on City Center. Usually these fights last forever. The stall is inevitable and impossible to deal with, but so far the flips have been coming in pretty fast and loose, and Qingjing has another EMP here. That could be massive.
That's such a nice kill, and they're going to try and go in with the EMP. They don't deny the res, but everyone is going to be hecked. Qingjing does go down, but they didn't get Orisa because she was still being rezzed while the EMP went off. That's such a weird interaction, but they held out. Nice halts, but not really any follow-up from that. The high noon from Zeus is just going to try and zone him off the objective. Not really going to get anyone with that. Oh, as I say that, Dirk flies a little bit too close to the edge. Nico will fall after that as well. No rest from Iron Crit right now, but they're going to be on a good position here in Magna Terra. They still have the numbers. They still have the positioning. As I say that, Mercedes finally finds another one. Zeus going down to a body shot in this case. Feroz is hacked, will not be able to transcend here. I don't know that he had it, but it's just going to be Mercedes going on another flank. They're just trying to surround them with his DPS, and it's working. Feroz under another pressure. Iron Crit, though, takes matters into his own hands, just goes up there, takes them out with that Valkyrie Mercy, but not going to be good for Feroz. Will get taken down. IG Nasty is not going to be happy with Jay just playing a little bit of a more dominant Roadhog, and that's Magna Terra taking that first round, and it was a little bit closer, but still not quite the answer they're looking for.
And to me, it all comes down to that split-second play that we saw there on City Center. The EMP coming in from Qingjing just a little bit too late there. Can't deny the res from Iron Crit. Garms gets back into the fight, gets to use the supercharger as well, has the shield to protect his team after they were all hacked up. And Magna Terra able to outlast Unchained Truancy in that decisive fight on OASB.
Yeah, and obviously now we're going to go to a few different maps, so we can talk a little bit about that. But you mentioned earlier how City Center fights usually tend to go on for a very long time, and how that wasn't really the case over here. Was there any particular reason? Is it where the fights took place? Does it have anything to do with this particular comps they were playing? Why did that happen?
It certainly does have to do with the comps that they're playing on some level, because there really isn't a ton of quick mobility on most of the characters being run when you see those Orisa Hog compositions that both teams had at times. You just can't get back to the point very quickly if you don't have a movement ability. You don't have a Lucio to provide speed boost, so that's definitely part of it. And also the fights were just coming in decisively enough. I mean, if you think about the use of something like an EMP for Unchained Truancy, that's the kind of ultimate that can lead to a really decisive team fight, which is what you need to get that flip on City Center.
Yeah, and of course you're now going to be able to see a map ban coming in here. Do you think Magna Terra definitely has a preference of what they want to ban, or are they we're just the better team, so it doesn't really matter?
I mean, I think on some level they probably do believe that they are the better team, and they really asserted themselves there on Oasis. But I'm sure every team definitely has maps that they want to ban out. It kind of just comes down to how they're feeling. But if you are Magna Terra, I don't think you're really too worried at this point. You are confident no matter where this series ends up going map wise.
Yeah, and obviously, they won the first map pretty comfortably, so I would say that they definitely have the right to feel comfortable about it. But then again, I never really want to take control as a sign of this is where the series is going, because how many times do we see a team win the first map, which is a control map, and then just lose everything afterwards? Like, it definitely can happen. Ban comes in on Horizon though, so it's going to be up to Unchained Truancy to really get something out of this. They got to pick a map that's going to work in their favor. It can't be a control map, but anything else is still possible. They're going to go to Dorado, which I think could be a very interesting one.
Could be. This is another map where we saw them play earlier this week. They got the win over full send here with a great hold on the second point. But and it's one that will lend itself to running Wrecking Ball if that's what Economy wants to do, at least on the second point. It's not, perfect. I would expect the Orisa on point A, to be totally honest. But we already know that Unchained Truancy is at least comfortable on this map. So I don't mind the pick at all.
Oh no, not at all. I mean, it's definitely if they're comfortable on the map, why not play it? And I do feel that if they're gonna go for an escort map, the Halt Hook and Widow strats, etc., that are gonna come out on Junkertown are probably a little bit more scary to them than something like Dorado. It's a little bit of a different map, but since they really didn't mind playing the Farah themselves, and like some snipers, I feel Dorado is a pretty solid choice.
I would be a little bit worried about Nico's Farah after what we saw in Oasis.
Maybe, but I mean, it's really.
Yeah, you can't make your decision based off that. By no means am I saying that should affect how they do this, but it's got to be there in the back of your head, or at least you might be expecting it as you come into Dorado.
Yeah, but also, right, if you saw the situations where Farah was run here on Oasis, you saw it being run on a very just behind a wall in a very tight angle with no like hit scan, properly getting an angle to really shoot at the Farah without being under complete pressure. And on Dorado, that's just going to be a very different story. The Farah's got to constantly hide. There'll be very long sight lines. So it's a very different map to play Farah on. I think for that reason, it's not going to be that big of a problem because both teams will be in that same boat. If they both play Farah either at the same time or like separately, it's going to be a different story. So I think the Oasis University is not really the place to look whether a Farah is a problem.
Fair. That's totally fair. It's definitely not necessarily indicative of things to come. I mean, in the same way that the control map in general, not necessarily indicative of things to come. A lot can still change here, and already we're seeing some new things coming out from Magna Terra, at least in terms of how they were playing their own Oasis. No Sombra in the mix just yet for them, to be honest.
And we're just waiting for them to get out of there. And obviously Sombra, she doesn't mind spending a little bit of time on Dorado, always does some digging, some dirt digging. Whether it's false news or not, like fake news, could be. I mean, I personally don't think there's anything wrong in Dorado. But yeah, definitely Sombra has other plans there. So, if you're interested in what I'm talking about and you haven't actually read any of the Overwatch lore, there was this whole thing coming out before Sombra was launched called the Sombra ARG. The alternative reality game. Oh, there was a lot of information about Dorado there that she wanted you to know. So definitely look that up. Maybe you'll see some fun stuff. For now, though, it doesn't look like they're going to go with that Sombra on the defense. Looks like double sniper with a Ursa Roadhog and probably a Zenyatta Mercy. Maybe Zenyatta Ana, depending on how Iron Crit goes. Looks to be a Mercy, though.
Certainly. That makes a whole lot of sense here. The double snipers on Dorado is a pretty natural fit. And will probably put a stop to perhaps any Farah play coming out from the side of Unchained Truancy. We'll know exactly what they're going to run in just a moment. It looks like it might be double sniper of their own.
Yeah, the only change here is that they're running the Baptiste instead of the Zenyatta. So that's the one difference they have. Nice jump shot from Mercedes, almost getting a pick off. And Mercedes been showing up on that Widowmaker tonight.
Yeah, he's
a little bit of halting.
He's probably had the most success in the kill feed of anybody on his team, but not here.
Zeus and Nico just coming back into it. A do-res Mercy on the Immortality field helped out a little bit, but it's just going to be King Shing being hooked in, Mercedes being taken down by Nico, and this fight it's over before it really even began. They just spammed down at them and got them all. Zeus getting too late as well. That's just gotta hurt. I think that's just gotta hurt.
No, I mean, and that's the thing. You are at a severe disadvantage without the high ground here because you also don't really have a good way to contest the high ground. Mercedes, though, that could be a pick that opens some stuff up. The Mercy gone, really no res available.
Yeah, Mercedes going for the exact same jump shot as they did the first time around, and this time got value out of it. And getting that Mercy is big because then it's almost all of their healing, and of course no res. So very big. They could just spam this down and win it out if they do it quickly enough.
No, it at least buys out the space.
It definitely does. Zeus takes the aggro, and Zeus takes the aggro position and takes down Mercedes and Dark. Zeus does get traded out, but that's just 2 for 1. That's not what you want there. They throw out the implication matrix as well. Not able to win out in the spam war. They try for the halt hook. They do get Grams. But will they get the kill? It doesn't look like it. That's going to be King Jin. Hook back in. They're going to still keep pushing though. They feel like they got something going here. They feel like they got some advantage, but it doesn't look like that's actually going to translate into anything. So for now, still they got to reset, but it's getting closer and closer to maybe a climactic fight here.
Fantastic patience there from the side of Magna Terra. They fall back after losing Iron Crit. They use Nico's Dragon Strike to buy some space and wait to get back to full 6 and then win the fight.
Definitely, I mean, King Jing already goes down here, and you gotta at some point figure out a way in order to fight here, but it doesn't happen. Mercedes falls on the side, does it go for a little bit of an aggro flank, so not that surprising, but Viro's getting the kill, a little bit less of a desirable thing. If you get widowed out, you're a little bit happy, but I mean, you're sort of fine, but otherwise.
Yeah, there's always a little bit of embarrassment when you, as a DPS player, die to a support, even if it is a Zenyatta.
Nice Dragon coming in straight away, but the Transcendence and the Immortality field both being traded here for each other. Application Matrix should get something, but instead it's going to be Nico who gets a double with the Dragon. This is really reminiscent of what we saw yesterday, and Mercedes is the only one trying to trade back, will just also fall, and that will just get res back up. It looks like this could be a very good defense here coming out. Although King Jing gets Viros, there's no res on the defense right now, so if they can recoup quickly, that could be big. The Halt Hook not getting anything from Jay there. They don't really need to, but they need to get it in there quick if they want to make anything happen, because that supercharger was also used late.
That's true. They are going to have a supercharger of their own as they push in here, so that at least might buy them a bit of movement out of this choke point to take a real fight.
Immediately that supercharger out. Jay already down. Mercedes does get traded, but I think they can res that up if they want to. Not going to do that just yet. They're just going to push harder with that supercharger, and they definitely have a lot more space to work with. They're definitely well and through the gate now. King Jing a little bit aggressive, but will just get shielded back up. And the Drangers are going to be traded, but the one from the defense is just going to be stunned out, or at least hooked out somehow. I don't know exactly what happened there. Garms is on his own there, really in the middle of nowhere of the enemy team. Is barely surviving. No, will finally go down. No more res because Zeus has been brought back up. And they do manage to get the payload there. It wasn't in time to touch it. Zeus is getting a lot of kills right now, but it doesn't really matter if the payload's already there. King Jing is just trading back. It's just Zeus on the arch, just trying to hook away. We'll be able to get that Nuko and him both getting out. And I mean, they get the first point, so they get an extent on the execution that maybe could have followed here on the defense.
Now, there's definitely an opportunity here for Unchained Truancy to get something. It was looking a little bit desperate for them, but they do manage to flip it, and now trying to push forward. Mercedes trying to contest the high ground, but already Garm's up there, wants to give firm control over to his snipers.
Just poking and prodding a little bit, getting a little bit of a different angle. Mercedes, when a little bit aggro, will just get taken down by Nico, and Nico is now on the flank inside of the courthouse. will just jump out. It's not just going to be a little bit too much pressure. But meanwhile, his tanks are just pushing back the opposition. It's still going to be the Orisa Hog alive, though, so it's a lot of pressure they can put out as well. They're using that application matrix. They get the Orisa and the Mercy before anything else can happen. That's very nice, because that res was almost going to come in. That's only Nico going to be behind the opposition, going to try and come up from above and try to get some picks. But it looks like Unchained Truancy is just going to extend their run even more and might even get the checkpoint here.
The damage boosted Ant Matrixed whole hog. That is an insane amount of damage output coming from changing, and it's just going to get them point B. They carry the momentum through, and they're able to buy themselves yet more time.
Yeah, I mean, and more time is obviously what you want, and 2.5 minutes is definitely enough to be able to finish this last point. And they've definitely gotten out of that stuck hold they were on first. They're just going to be pulling forward another application tool. King Jing alone through the choke, though. That shield wasn't holding up for long. And that supercharger will also not be amplifying most people through that gate, because it's just in the wrong way. Mercedes tries to dive in, but it looks like the attackers are going to have to regroup and try again. Unchained. I mean, they were unchained for a little bit, but now they're kind of getting them back.
Yeah, King G just unfortunately gets caught on the wrong side of the wall as it comes up, separates him from the rest of his team from that supercharger, and he goes down immediately. So now Magna Terra have firm control of the choke points there. They're just spamming through it now. Here come the dragons.
They definitely are trying to make it there. IG Nasty already down, though, but Nico is traded, and the res can come in here for both sides, though. So, sides are still even, no reses anymore. Mercedes is trying to take the other flank, though. Is now under a lot of pressure, or at least is going to be. Meanwhile, the tanks are pushing on the other side. They're really trying to do this pincer maneuver with Mercedes on one side, and it's working out. They're definitely getting through the doorways now. Mercedes gets a little bit of a more free angle, although the shield is still slightly in the way. Jay gets IG Nasty. Once again, IG Nasty the first to fall. No res ready right now. Might be in a few seconds, but not just yet. Meanwhile, the snipers are just trying to outposition, outflank, and out DPS each other. And it's so hard to do. They're just shield against shield. Dragons coming through to split up the team and buy him a little bit more space. It looks like they might be able to do something here, but no! It's Zeus once again getting a pick here onto Mercedes, and that opens everything up. Jerk falling. Ruben is trying to get them back, but will just get out DPS by Ruben. IG Nasty just got back. Will fall again. And Unchained has to try again.
They are getting repelled here once again in a little bit of a tough situation. Now, they are going to have the supercharger for this next fight. That's what got them through that first kind of stumbling block on point A. We'll see if it can do it again.
Yeah, it looks like they might be able to, they'll definitely be able to touch the card. Like, they should be able to. They have 7 seconds. The card is barely through the gate, so they will be able to get there. Mercedes already getting on that, but just gets headshot by Nico. You don't want your Widow to go in early, and that's unfortunately what happened. But Zeus gets traded, so both Widows down, and the res comes in onto Mercedes, not onto Zeus, so it looks like a very good position. Mercedes goes for the aggro pool. Jay goes down. Grams has already fallen to the tank line. And without a tank line, you cannot really do anything on the side of Magna Terra. Obviously, Iron Crit will try to do a little bit, and Nico actually gets a pick onto Derek and Ruben. That's not what you want to see. They had that fight won completely. That's not what you do if you just get out as well. That's not, wow. That's not what you expect happening. It's a nice dragon coming through. It splits them off a little bit, but I think they're still in a good position, and now they have to wait until their teammates come back. Ruben has gone over to that Tracer to get back quickly, and just taxis Dirk as well. They do get King Jing, and Mercedes is already down, though. They can't even touch the cart with that whole hog. Oh, that play.
Nico, what was that?
Wow.
Goes on the flank, saves Iron Crit from a desperate situation, and completely flips that on its head. That fight was over. Unchained Truancy, we're pushing. It was done, and wow.
I mean, you know, talking about MVP plays, honestly, and actually talking about MVP plays, we do have an MVP poll underneath your Twitch channel. So if you're in full screen, if you're not, if you're on D-Live, that's also fine. But just check underneath the Twitch stream that we have, because there is a panel where you can click on player names, and the player name you click will get a vote towards the MVP of the day. And it's always nice to get that recognition as a player for the great plays you have made. Now, going into this other half, they did almost get to the end of the map. I mean, it was not really on the edge, but it's close enough. I mean, they got very far into the third point. It's going to be still a ask for Magna Terra to get there.
Certainly, this is not a cakewalk by any means. Unchained Truancy, especially given where they started on this map, how close we were to a full hold here on Dorado, they're going to be happy with that result at the end of the day. It gives them a chance here as they swap over to the defense and breaking out a rare sight, a double main tank composition here, a double shield tank.
Hasn't been that rare of late, though. I mean, especially with the Baptiste and sort of like the spam compositions. That's something we've seen a lot because you just cannot break through the shield that way. And with King Jing going down a lot of that hump.
I feel like I usually see it with a Bastion, but they've got the Junkrat as well, gonna be damage boosted.
It feels like that that Hollywood defense strat where you run the double shield, but Economy is already taking a lot of pressure. Both shields are taking a lot of pressure, but they have two of them, so they have more than the attackers do, and they're already putting out a lot of damage. Zeus going for the flanked Widow, maybe trying to get an angle. It doesn't look like he really is getting something so far. Ruben goes a little bit low, but it seems like he can just rotate now. Zeus is ready though, was ready for the rotation, gets Ruben out, and Ruben does get res, so they have the shield, now ready for the choke, and now they're in position. Looks like Nico doesn't want them to be though, he's going on that flank together with Zeus. They're just switching and swapping out. There's just double team with the snipers, and they're really doing a good job of finding these off angles, especially Nico. Gets another one to King Jing, and they still have a shield left, but they need a little bit more. They need a little bit more. And with Zeus getting Mercedes, that's a little bit less. So that's not what they need. It looks like this fight is just going to go over to Magna Terra here.
And now the cart is moving away from them. They're stuck behind it. They've got to chase it down, and it's not going to happen. The charge does get there, but Economy is toast.
Dirk reses up IG Nasty. I think that might be a little bit much, but does get the kill on the Zeus. So Dirk not ready to give up just yet. Although Iron Crit replies in kind, just gets King Jing on the retreat. Wow. And chaotic, man.
Somehow, even with those double shield tanks, the shield break is still so good from Magna Terra. They just constantly are forcing Economy into awkward situations and capitalizing.
Yeah, now they're going to go over to that full DPS mode. They put Economy onto their Wrecking Ball. Dirk still on the Mercy, IG Nasty on the Baptiste. And they'll have 3 DPS with it. 2 spam and a Tracer. Economy just goes in, goes heavy. There's the tire that's going to come out. Will it get anything? It looks like they're going to go for Grams, but Zeus just snipes it out of the air. Mercedes is now in deep, goes for Feroz and for Iron Crit, but doesn't really get anything. Tracer just running around, but Zeus is unleashed now. You really cannot stop this Widowmaker. Mercedes going out of Feroz. They're just on a roll. I don't think Unchained really has an answer at this point anymore.
No, they definitely don't. I mean, they thought the Rip Tire might be it, but Ruben now throwing himself off the map. Are they realistically even going to get out here with a reasonable contest?
They're not. No, there's no one there. I mean, even Economy isn't there yet, and you really definitely need that Wrecking Ball, and I don't know where is he actually? Oh, he's in their spawn. That's where he is. They were still respawning, obviously. So, 5 minutes 20... to get about 50 meters further than it automatically moves. I don't know. This looks like a very hard hold here for Unchained.
No, and they don't really even have any tools to work with. I mean, it's just the Valkyrie from Dirk. It'll give them a little survivability, but Mercedes goes down way on a flank mission, a solo mission in the back.
They're trying to go for these solo plays, not really working out. King Jing now has that high ground position, though, and the defensive position can be very strong here, but they need to contest the card. I think they will. No, they won't. They just don't get on it.
Guess not.
They were there. They were all there. What? Okay. You know what? It happens to the best of us, so I'm not gonna be annoying about it. But that feels like that shouldn't have happened. So that's a little bit unfortunate. Of course, Zeus gets to play here. You're gonna see that beautiful play. It wasn't Nico with the beautiful Mercy save, but look at this. Gets one. Gets another one probably soon. There we go, and okay, only 2, but still, extra headshot onto Economy there was probably what got it. So, 55% kill participation, Zeus on fire.
I mean, everybody on Magna Terra is on fire right now. They are setting the world on fire at the moment.
That's not a surprise though. I mean, they have the logo with the flame, so it does definitely make sense that they're on fire, but I mean, you don't expect the team to be this on fire for so much of a match. Like, this is actually getting to a point where I gotta ask though, like Unchained Truancy, because they didn't look terrible on especially on their attack, but that defense just fell apart, well, completely. Like what's going on there? Like what's their DPS doing different? Because Unchained Truancy often had more DPS, but they didn't get the same value out of them.
Yeah, it's really hard to say because the thing is actually I think the offense for Unchained Truancy was maybe a tad bit misleading because they nearly got full held on point A and they barely broke through at the very end. They finished in overtime. And then they kind of snowballed through point B, which is still like it's very momentum based at that point. They had one really great play on point B with the Amp Matrix and the whole hog, but it wasn't like they were kind of rolling through Magna Terra. It was a few fights that they won on the offense to keep the cart moving, but the defense kind of all just falls apart because Magna Terra decide they're done playing around. They're just ready to end this as quick as possible.
Yeah, and it does look like that. But then again, that doesn't really get back to the question I asked you, which you don't necessarily have to answer because I think I have an answer of my own. Because I was talking about how the DPS, they both run either the same or even more DPS on Unchained Truancy a lot of the time as Magna Terra is doing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the reason why Magna Terra is getting it is because they have way more of that coherence, that they're switching their angles and their positioning in a very team-based manner. So when you see Zeus going to one flank, then Nico goes to the other, and sometimes they do the switcheroo or they go to the high ground, but they're always in that position where they're not looking at the same place or the same angle. Whereas with Unchained Truancy, they did that as well, but they did that to such a degree that even if they want to have someone on that angle, they're just too far away. There were more solo mentality plays going on for Unchained Truancy, I felt, and that can work sometimes, but not if Magna Terra is putting out those angle blocks and the skill and the tank pressure and the support skill out in the way they're doing. So that might be something that to look at for the coming map. Because it might be the last one, because we're going to Lijiang. This could be over really quickly because control maps are notoriously fast. We could also get an extension to just go to the 2-1, get Unchained Truancy a little bit further. That would be nice to see. I'd like to see them able to turn it around, but Magna Terra is looking very good tonight.
No, and to touch on the point that you just made, I think another thing that we're seeing is that when Unchained Truancy is trying to kind of assert pressure on the game, like you said, it's coming from either a solo play or maybe it's 2, maybe even 3 players comboing. But when Magna Terra are pushing forward, they're getting pressure from both of their DPS at the same time that their front line is surging. Jay and Garms have just been on point all night. You can tell those two are really locked in with each other, and they're making it very difficult for Unchained Truancy to do anything right now.
Yeah, I mean, maybe even locked in the same room like all week just to prepare for things like this. I mean, it's possible. You start maybe hating each other's guts at some point, but you will definitely get some teamwork going, right? Going on to the Lijiang Night Market, though, that will probably be a little bit different in the way that things are run. For instance, we don't see any snipers in spawns just yet. Might still change, though. I mean, it could be that they're coming out with this Tracer Sombra. That could be very interesting from Unchained. And on the other side, it does look like a comp that they could run. Once again, that double shield tank, which works very, very well against a lot of spam.
Yeah, I don't think Iron Crate is playing the. I don't think Iron Crate is playing the Orisa.
No, actually, they're switching it all up. They're going over the Sombra goats. Yeah, that's. I mean, that's still something we haven't seen tonight. But Zeus is going to be on that Sombra again. Have we seen Zeus on a Sombra already? I don't think so.
No, actually, not yet tonight. Unchained Truancy played it a little bit on Oasis, but this is kind of what I expected based on the one match of theirs that I had watched from earlier in the tournament. So now we're finally getting to see it.
They're going in hard. I mean, that dive is definitely gonna have to be able to do something, but they're playing against that Goats composition, which is notoriously good against dive. Ruben immediately will fall. It's gonna be Jay just zapping away, trying to get Qingqing now, but this is a sole surviving Tracer. The rest all just backed off the spawn, and I don't think this is gonna be a very successful first fight here.
Well, I mean, that
does look like it.
That's really rough if you're Unchained Truancy, because right now it's basically a perfect comp to be running against what you rolled out with this 3-2-1 setup for. Magna Terra is just going to be really hard to break through unless they make some swaps, and here they come. They're over to a triple DPS setup there. Is Economy going to play the Wrecking Ball? I have to imagine.
Yeah, there he goes. Ruben already falling to Zeus, though. I mean, that's not something you want to be seeing. But Mercedes doing a little bit of damage on that Reinhardt of Garms. So definitely a little bit more pressure now coming in from longer range angles. And that Pharah should help out with that as well in the near future.
Certainly, but he's got to find a way to be effective to find the right angles here and get some of these all-important picks.
That pulse bomb almost getting something there from King Jing. You didn't think that was going to do anything, but it still was almost effective. Mercedes will go down to Zeus, just solo pick off. Nice headshots there from the Sombra. Economy just stunned up, locked up on the point. Will not go down because they don't have quite the damage to burst it down yet. And now there's a lot of damage coming on the defense. Viros, Nico, they're all went very low, but they have so much healing. It's just impossible to break through at this point. There is the barrage attempt already from Ruben. This gets shut down by the power of the goats. IG Nasty nowhere to fly. Will get out alive eventually, but there's just so much pressure. And they're really trying here.
Zeus just teleported off the map.
Off the map. I mean, sometimes you think you might hit a corner and you just don't. I don't know.
So that's an opportunity for Unchained Truancy. They're coming in now.
It definitely is. I mean, no EMP to fight into. And there's another pulse bomb that doesn't get anything. Mercedes will be the time following Nico on that flank. And Nico is on the chase, goes after Dirk. And Dirk is really... I mean, he gets some help here. The Ana is there, obviously. And then Ruben falls in the meantime. There's just... The fight's happening at multiple fronts. And normally the Goats doesn't want that. But the Goats is doing great against it. Unchained is really trying here. But they can't even get to the point with that Nano Tracer. Wow. I mean, like you said, they're trying to run something into the composition that is exactly built to counter that. That was why Brigitte came into the game. And... it's so hard. It's just so hard.
Once they're entrenched on the point and they've got an ult advantage and they have the superior comp and they've already been beating you all night pretty handily, it's too many things stacked against Unchained Truancy there. Perhaps now they'll have a little bit better opportunity. They're going to roll with the triple DPS from the get-go here, so should be perhaps a tad more successful.
Yeah, and the only change to the other side is Garm's going over to the Winston, not the Reinhardt, because obviously it's pretty hard to stay on these on the map here. It's very open. It's going to be a little bit of a shuffle in the DPS department. Unchained Mercedes is now on the far end. King Jing is on the Widow, so that's a pretty big change up going for projectile to hit scan. And already gets Vero straight away. Mercedes has been showing up and keeps showing up already. No hack coming out just yet from Zeus, so it looks like that opening pick could be very big here. They get the mech of Jay, and Unchained getting a very good start here to this first fight. Let's see if they can pull it off and keep continuing. Jay going very low. It's going to be Ruben to fall together with him. Looks like they don't really have that much to keep contesting with, but as I say that, Garms just comes and gets two, and Zeus gets another one. They almost look like they had it Unchained, but they just couldn't put it through.
No, they get a nice kill onto Ruben from the hack by Zeus and are able to chain that into a fight when Garm's controlling a lot of space. I mean, he's the only shield on the field right now, and he's making it work for his team.
The only tank at that point as well, because Jay had already been demeched, but we're going to see a lot of damage still raining down here from Mercedes. Already has that barrage up, and Ruben is not that far behind in the EMP charge. King Jing under a lot of pressure from Zeus on the flank, and meanwhile this frontline battle keeps on going. Garm's jumping in pretty far, but won't get anything for his trouble, so just has to back off. There's the barrage. Jay not ready with the boosters, but will finally get that out. Will get out of the mech, so it's going to be a trade-off. Jay will fall as well, so still a little bit even here, if especially if IG Nasty can get this res off. But Economy just on the point, hacked up, burst down. Mercedes is up again, but no ult to work with, and that solo Pharah not going to be able to do anything here.
Definitely not. And now their backs are really starting to be up against the wall for Unchained Truancy. You are running out of chances to get back in here. Using the infra site here to give them at least some info as they push in, but they are running on fumes right now.
They really are. They have to get something done. Once again, if they lose this point, they're just going to be out of the match, out of the tournament even. So Zeus is going to be falling here. That's a good early pick, but they need to get some more, and that shield is doing so much to block all that damage from the Pharah. They're not bursting it down quick enough. Another EMP comes out from Ruben this time. They get Iron Crit as well. Looks like they'll finally be able to clean up this fight. A nice barrage to just get Jay out of that mech. And like I said, they should really be winning this fight out and catching the point now.
Certainly, and I mean that's something that I was hoping to see for Unchained Truancy here, is Ruben able to hit these big EMPs. Theoretically, the goats that Magna Terra are running should be more vulnerable to that. They're going to be more grouped up than this DPS heavy comp for Unchained. So good that they get that fight, but they've still got to win pretty much all of them from here.
That's a nice self-destruct. Doesn't really get anyone, but it didn't really have to because they're still getting 3 because they all get them in that same room, and grouped up is where they don't want to be. Mercedes gets a counter pick onto 2, but I don't think that's going to be enough here because the Mercedes will go down, and the res doesn't actually come in because I mean, IG Nasty just flew a little bit too high during that.
Iron Crick got the boop there.
Yeah, almost there, but Icarus, not close enough to the sun this time around. King Jing trying to get some shots in on that Widowmaker, but hasn't really been that successful so far. It's going to be on the back of Mercedes, doing a lot. Is not even nanoed up, and that is a lot of damage coming out from afar. It's so close to that barrage, and they're trying to really get some damage down. They're really close to getting something, but it's just going to be Iron Crit going so deep on that Lucio. Well, both the Ana and the Widow. Mercedes will fall before that barrage can go off. So do King Jing and IG Nasty, and this looks to be it. It looks to be over. Magna Terra, in a very dominant showing, are going to take the match, going to take down Unchained Truancy.
They are not happy about being in the lower bracket, sure.
Obviously not.
But they are looking very strong now that they're here, and they are definitely not going to go down without a fight in this tournament. They're very much players still moving forward.
Yeah, and obviously you got to imagine they lost to Triumph Academy, and it's not the Triumph that's currently contenders, obviously, but that doesn't mean they don't have a lot of access to the same resources, that level of play, that whole basis on which that team is founded. So it's definitely understandable that if you lose to that, it doesn't necessarily mean you're a bad team, and they still got to take a map off them. So I'm very interested to see what Magna Terra is going to be able to do in the rest of the tournament.
No, absolutely. They will be moving on into the third round of the lower bracket, where they will take on the winner of the New England Whalers versus winnable matchup that will be happening sometime later this week. So yeah, they've got an opportunity to keep marching forward, and I'm definitely excited to see what they can come up with.
Yeah, and obviously it's not over tonight. It's never over until it's really over, and because of that, we got obviously one of the lovely players of Magna Terra in the voice chat. It's going to be V-Rose, which, if I'm correct, we can call you the flex support?
Yep, flex support.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, some people don't like to be called a specific role, but you're owning up to it, so that's really nice. Yeah. Congratulations on the win, of course. Let's start with that.
Thank you.
Now, coming into this match, I mean, you just yesterday you had a little bit of a tough one against Triumph Academy. Then coming into this one, was it hard to get back into the rhythm of it?
I think after we lost yesterday to Triumph, we kind of just stayed after in a Discord call and talked about what we could improve on, and we did a lot of scouting coming into this match on Unchained, just from the previous matches that they played. So we kind of had a good feel of what they were gonna play. So yeah, we just on Oasis, we knew exactly what they were gonna come out with, and we just counterpicked them, and yeah.
Well, I mean, it definitely seemed like you knew you were doing. Do you feel it had a lot to do with the counterpicks as well, or do you also feel that the teamwork itself, the core of being a team, was already a little bit just that level higher for Truancy, against Truancy?
I think that our counterpicking was pretty good. I think Zeus popped off on Widow. He was kind of fragging out, and so did Nico on Hanzo. And our tanks just did their job and stayed alive, and Iron Crit kind of popped off, especially on the last map. So I think we all popped off in our own role, and I think the counterpicking helped. So just utilizing those two strategies, or I guess.
Everything just came together.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, it's good to hear, and obviously, we discussed a little bit before you came in. You said, sure, you lost to Triumph yesterday, but that doesn't mean you're down and out 100%. I mean, you still look like a very strong team, so definitely, I'm curious to see how far you can run this through the lower bracket. Next match, you would be going up against either New England Whalers or Winnable. Is that something you're at all concerned about?
No, we've played winnable, and we played winnable a little bit, and we've played the Whalers in scrims sometimes. But I think we're pretty confident going against either or, and we'll just be prepared regardless of who it is.
Fair enough. I mean, it's obviously it's a little bit weird to say that you're not going to be prepared whatsoever. But no, as a flex support of late, I mean, I don't know how long you've been a flex support before this. I don't know, it's like if you started on that, if you had other roles as well.
Yeah, I started just playing kind of like Tracer and Soldier. Those are like the first two characters I played. But then like I watched Jaehung play Ana, and that was like he was amazing at Ana, and I just wanted to like be as good as him, so I just took on like flex support role. And,
okay, well, I mean that's the inspiring story we hope to all be achieving someday. I know I'm definitely nowhere near that, so you know I can't aspire to be my Overwatch League counterparts, but you know, good to hear you have dreams to one day beat him in a 1v1, right?
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, I mean, some people are already doubting his skills, but let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine you've had to play a little bit more Ana lately as well, like than in the previous seasons.
Yeah, definitely. Like, just like the meta kind of shifting as of late. It was, you know, before it was just Zen goats, and then it was kind of like Ana Sombra goats, and now it's like Ana and Bunker. So I've been pretty happy about like that. But today we just played Zen just because we thought it would work better, and it ended up working better. So
yeah. It's you know, the results speak for themselves, so I'm definitely not going to criticize any of you on that. Do you feel like especially with the announcement, also maybe a little bit before that you do a lot more scrims and just practice in 2-2-2 formations, or does it really not have anything to do with it?
Like we know 2-2-2's coming, but we also know that like this tournament, for example, is not 2-2-2, so we kind of have to balance ourselves, and I think regardless of what the meta is, I think we're able to adapt to whatever meta. And I think that showed, especially like the first two maps we're playing snipers, and then we go on to the Somber Goats. So, and we kind of just did our thing.
Oh yeah, definitely look flexible. I'm not going to argue with you there, and the results do speak for themselves. No, I'm just curious because obviously, you know, we talk to a few teams and we see a lot of teams just say like, you know what, we're just going to play 2-2-2 from now on, even though the tournament isn't locked. We still feel it's good enough. And obviously, it's not going to be exactly the same, right? Because there's going to be some balance changes. What hero are you looking forward to most playing with?
Like playing?
Yeah, playing with. Not playing with. Not you playing, but having in your team, like in to either support or support with, maybe.
I mean, to be honest, I'm just glad that like Brig is hopefully dead, and like I don't think there's any support that I want to play with, but the support I don't want to play with, like especially in comp or something, is like, or against, I guess rather, is Moira, because like the new CC like buff to her just like being able to fade out of sleep and shatter is kind of like, in my opinion, dumb. But I mean, it is what it is, you know. So. Yeah.
For anyone who's listening and is not really sure what that means, Moira will be quote unquote not really immune to CC, but she'll be able to use Fade while the CC is happening. So essentially, you won't be able to stun her if she has Fade on. That's kind of what that is. So yeah, the personal opinions on that's obviously a different story, but I can definitely imagine that could be an issue that you're gonna run into, especially as an Ana player. Are there any shout outs you want to do to anyone?
I guess just our coaches for just, you know, guiding us in the right direction, and then all my 5 other teammates that really like have been putting in the time and effort to get better, and Iron Crit for coming up with the lobby. In lobby we lock Poo Poo as our player icon, so I think that really helps us helps us, you know, succeed.
Yeah, I mean, if it has a team spirit, you know, that sometimes gives you the right mindset to go into a game as a team.
Yeah.
But for now, I do want to definitely thank you for the interview, and obviously still congratulate you on the game. I wish I could also congratulate you on the MVP vote, but unfortunately that hasn't been you. But it still has been someone who was popping off according to you. It was Zeus who got the MVP vote, so congratulations to Zeus. And once again, thank you for the interview. We hope to see you in the future. Good luck in the future matches.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, Shy Guy, that was short but sweet.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet. If you're Magna Terra, that was a pleasure to cast and a pleasure to watch. They are a team that I definitely have my eye on moving forward in this tournament. We obviously haven't seen the last of them. They stay alive here tonight, but I really think they could make some noise as they make a run through the lower brackets. So I will definitely be checking out their matches as we move forward.
Yeah, and obviously, tomorrow we're going to have another one coming at 8 p.m. at going to be Redacted versus SK Esports. And they're going to be deciding who's going to go up against Citizens in the upper bracket or against the T Lullaby in the lower bracket. It's going to be an interesting one. Definitely looking forward to that. But for now, this is going to be our ending here. If you think you want to see more of us, obviously hit the follow buttons, hit the subscribe buttons, hit any button you can find that has anything to do with following on Twitter, on Twitch, on DLive. We're basically everywhere. You can even join the Discord server if you really want to. I mean, there is a general chat, so I'm supposing you can just join and chat for a little bit. And yeah, obviously don't forget about our sponsors. I mean, Omnicoach.gg, we love them, they love us. At least I've been told that they do. I can get that first 10% off on the video package with the code Star Esports. For now, though, I've been Man of Class. You can find me as well on Twitter and Twitch. Man of Class OW, pretty easy to find. And Shy Guy is definitely on the social media platforms as well, so you don't be sure to give him a follow.
Yeah, you can find me at Shy Guy OW as well. So appreciate that. Thank you all for joining us here tonight. Have a wonderful evening.